Greetings, degenerates. St. Michael here, and it appears that I might get a small amount of validation because after doing 2 videos on James Gunn dealing with his potentially short tenure over at DC, running it into the ground, creating just unmitigated slop, like Peacemaker Season 2, which was just an onslaught of anti-white pro-bullshit, and the soaring to 11th place Superman, and those subsequent videos receiving hate, calling me everything from a Nazi to a Snyder bro, it appears that Warner Brothers may have a buyer. Now, they've been up for sale for a while. Rumors have been circulating as who could it be? Maybe Netflix, maybe this, maybe that. But apparently it's going to be, at least if rumors prove true, Saudi Arabia. Now, the Saudis are a big fan of American media, American entertainment. Now, what they're not a fan of, because of obvious reasons, gays. So they don't like all this woke gay slop. They also don't exactly like women, so we might see less gay characters, but we also might see Wonder Woman in a burqa. And considering Gal Gadot's nationality, she probably will not be Wonder Woman. I mean, but this is a rumor. I like this because after doing a couple of videos on the whole gun thing, I got a lot of hate for that. One of my videos, I was talking about fascism and Nazis when I literally only bring that up because James Gunn had it in his universe and Peacemaker. Whatever. But I was accused of being a Snyder bro. First of all, I don't like the Snyderverse. The only movie, weirdly enough, going back to Gal Gadot, the only movie that was worth anything was the first Wonder Woman movie, which actually had negative ramifications for being so good because it embarrassed Kevin Feige, and he overcompensated, giving us the current MCU. So, well, that's one factor at least. No, I don't like the Snyderverse. I'm not a fan of this particularly, but as long as it pisses off the Gun Bros, yay! I don't like Batman v Superman. I thought that was terrible. I hated Justice League. I thought that was a rushed slop mess. And Suicide Squad was terrible. Now, the Suicide Squad I actually liked. I liked the first Wonder Woman, and, you know, the rest is just forgettable. But if this rumor does prove true, Saudi Arabia is one signature away from buying Warner Brothers Discovery with Snyder's DCEU to be reinstated. Now, I don't know how true that part is. Who knows? I don't really care one way or the other. I mean, DC can't get out of its own way. They have the Matt Reeves Batman world. They have the Elseworlds Joker thing. They have, you know, this potentially coming back. Does that mean we'll have James Gunn and Snyder? Do we have like a competing Monday Night Wars thing? Who fucking knows? They can't figure out how to put things right. And these are the most popular characters in media. Batman, Superman. You can't figure that out. But if the rumor does prove true, Warner Brothers Discovery will be bought not by one of the circling studios like Paramount or Comcast or Netflix, but by Saudi Arabia, which, according to another related rumor, will replace James Gunn's DCU with Zack Snyder's DCEU. The part about Saudi Arabia buying Warner Brothers Discovery comes from Patrick Calgary, a producer who has worked on TV shows including Big Brother, American Idol, and I couldn't care less about any of those shows. He calls it a $70 billion deal. They could buy the entire company for $70 billion. I mean, we know the Saudis got money. So I wouldn't be surprised. And that, as of yesterday, when he posted the video below to his Instagram, the deal is one signature away from complete. Has learned this from sources he has in Saudi Arabia, which calls pretty solid media sources.
Saudi Arabia is on the verge of purchasing Warner Brothers. I posted this about 24 hours ago What's interesting is to see the internet doing its internet thing, and so many people have taken this information and have run with it. Outlets are now presenting this as their own, but the source is right here. Kind of humorous because I've actually been reporting on this since October 16th. That's when I first heard that there may be a $70 billion deal from Saudi Arabia to purchase Warner Brothers. Now, I do have sources in Saudi Arabia who are now telling me that the deal is about one signature away from being complete. And these sources are pretty solid media sources, and they're sources that I am trusting. Now, of course, this could all blow up in my face, and I could be eating the biggest meal of dead crow of my life if it's wrong. But I am trusting my gut right now. I am trusting my sources, so I am going all in on this is what's happening. The one information I don't have is whether Comcast is also involved with this deal, whether Comcast would be picking up some of the additional elements of Warner Brothers like HBO Max. That's still the mystery right now. But from what I understand, Paramount has made multiple bids at about $60 billion, and the Saudi fund is estimated to be $1 trillion. And as a person who was in Saudi Arabia just 3 weeks ago, you've seen the evidence now showing that this country is going all in on media. They bought EA Sports. It's on LIV Golf. Now, of course, what's really interesting is so far, none of the traditional Hollywood news outlets have reported on any of this. They've been circling the Paramount story with the Ellison family trying to purchase Warner Brothers. They've been reporting on Netflix trying to get their name in the game. But from what I understand, the deal is almost done. And David Zaslav did mention that by December, they will announce who is going to be the owner. So right now, everything is tracking on point on the timeline, and we will see who the owner is that's going to emerge. So you know who the source was and where the information was coming from. Producer Patrick on the scene.
So he says we'll know something by December. Okay, he acknowledges that he could be wrong and could be eating the biggest meal of dead crow he's ever had, but he's trusting his gut and his sources. Let's see. He's got a point about Saudi Arabia going all in on media. At the end of September, it was announced that Saudi Public Investment Fund was one of the three entities forming a consortium that bought EA. And they were also known for putting a lot of intersectional, feminist, gay bullshit. I mean, did you see Veilguard? Holy fuck. That was horrible. So less gay shit there. Let's see. Hollywood producer Patrick Calgary, don't care, has revealed that Saudi Arabia is on the verge of purchasing Warner Bros. Discovery, saying the deal is about one signature away. Everyone's running with that. The second part of this rumor is an exclusive from Cosmic Book News, although it's more of an update on a rumor the site ran about 3 weeks ago. Cosmic Book News sources tell them that if this deal goes through, James Gunn and his DCU are being replaced with the old DCEU, which will be run once again by Zack Snyder with Christopher Nolan as executive producer. Ooh, interesting. Maybe not. I don't know. We'll see how that Odyssey goes. Previously, this was to be the case if Paramount bought Warner Bros. Since then, Bloomberg reported Gunn and his co-CEO of DC Studios, Peter Safran, would be safe if the event of Paramount buyout. But they claim that the source behind the rumor has given them reliable information in the past, such as Marvel retooling Daredevil, Born Again. Didn't care about it. And the detail of some of the Warner Bros. Discovery sales updates. They also claim once again that this was why Zack Snyder has been posting so much DC content on social media, and that's Snyder and the UFC producing a movie called Brawler for the General Entertainment Authority. The Saudi Arabian government department that regulates their entertainment industry suggests that Saudi Arabia trusts it. Apparently, Saudi and Snyder have good relations, which is where this whole thing came from. But there's also this. Now, this comes from That Park Place. Paramount Skydance publicly denies Arab Wealth Fund involvement in the Warner Bros. Discovery bid. So, on one hand, there's a rumor that Saudi Arabia will buy it. On the other hand, that's complete bullshit, apparently. So, the battle over Warner Brothers escalated this morning as Paramount Skydance issued rare and sharply worded statement denying a major claim circulating across Hollywood trade outlets about its upcoming bid. Variety reported that newly formed Paramount Skydance Group was assembling a $71 billion investment consortium, with sovereign wealth funds from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi to acquire Warner Bros. Discovery, but according to the company itself, none of that is true. So what they're saying is that their money apparently is not backed by Saudi. That they're raising the money to buy it, but the whole it coming from the Middle East, specifically Saudi, Qatar, and Abu Dhabi, is completely untrue. Okay. In a statement to Variety, a studio representative said the information Variety published is categorically incorrect. The spokesman, Jesus Christ, added, "This is a confidential process which we respect, and as such, we'll not be commenting on until the process is over." That's about as forceful a denial as you will ever see in an industry that prefers vague PR blurbs over open confrontation. The Warner Bros. Discovery Board has set a November 20th deadline for initial bids. Heavy hitters like Comcast and Netflix are expected to circle the opportunity, and there are strong rumors that Saudi Arabia, a Saudi Arabian public investment fund, is also in the mix. But the most aggressive pursuer so far has been David Ellison. Variety confirmed WBD already rejected Ellison's earlier $23.5 per share offer, signaling that the board wants something far higher from any would-be purchaser. Variety's earlier reporting has become a flashpoint. The original story suggested that the Ellison family, which holds funds, has full voting control of Paramount Skydance, was building a gigantic multinational investment group to pull off the acquisition. That report was based on anonymous sources, so who knows? Then the publication stood by its details. Paramount Skydance now says the report is flat out wrong. So they're gaining money to put in a bid, and the rumor is that Saudi and other places over there is footing the bill. They deny this, but, at the end of the day, someone's going to have to buy this, and someone's going to have to set Warner Brothers up for something. They really need to just figure this whole fucking shit out. Meanwhile, Comcast is still sniffing around. Variety also confirmed that Comcast co-CEO Brian Roberts traveled to Saudi Arabia in late October to attend a PIF-hosted conference and toured Qiddiya, I don't know, foreign, the site of the country's massive theme park project. While there is no confirmation that Roberts sought financing for the WB takeover, the timing of this is raising out. It's very, very sus, to say the least. Why this matters for the industry, though. If Paramount Skydance does succeed in its bid to purchase WB, it would merge two of the largest studios in the world, HBO, Warner Brothers, and Paramount's entire film and TV library would fall under a single roof. That includes things like, obviously, Warner Brothers with DC. You also have Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon, and the upcoming spinoff. So that all is now under one thing. I don't know how this works with, monopoly rules, and antitrusts. I hate that so many companies just own fucking everything. Like, look at all the fucking companies Disney owns. Some of them are news agencies, for fuck's sakes. Streaming services like Max and Paramount would face monumental realignment and regulatory scrutiny would be immense. This would likely become the largest media antitrust case since Disney and Fox, that in itself, how did that go through? Disney now owns Fox, which is obviously why they're ruining things like, Alien and Predator, and who knows what else is next. The bottom line, noise surrounding the latest Paramount Warner Bros. Bid just got a lot louder, and a lot messier. Paramount Skydance has denied any connections to Arab sovereign wealth funds, challenging the accuracy of most attention-grabbing portions of Variety's reporting, yet the clock is ticking. The Warner Brothers Discovery Board wants official bids in hand by November 20th, and that is tomorrow as of the time of this recording. Expect more denials, leaks, and counter-leaks and boardroom maneuvers as this story unfolds, and given what's at stake, billions, brands, and future shape of the industry, this could be the biggest entertainment business story of the decade. Yes? Here's the thing. I ultimately don't give a flying fuck who buys it or what's up, because I don't really care about the DCEU, the DCU, whatever. I honestly wish both would burn, because both are terrible. I'm just doing this because I love to see the reaction from the Gunn bro say, no. Gunn he's still doing his thing. He's still on the right track. Forget Snyder. You're just a Snyder bro. I'm not. I don't like both. I don't like either, really. So, if this is true and Saudi money is involved in this, or, Middle East money in general, this could mean they cut a lot of the, well, for lack of better terms, pork. those countries don't like pork. From all of what's been going on in recent media. I mean, there's a reason why manga is outpacing comics and why anime is outpacing anything. I mean, you got Demon Slayer and, shit from China. The East is kicking the West's ass in media, and it's sad but true. So let me know what you think. Do you think this will mean Gunn is out? Do you think this means we get good DC movies now? Or do you think it's just same shit, new boss? Because I kind of think there will be some changes. I don't know how drastic. But, Anyway, subscribe for more rants, political, pop culture bullshit, and whatever else I feel like talking about. God bless, and may demons fear when you wake in the morning.